E93 model, 2010, and it belongs to Chris Simmons. He originally came in to us to look at having some custom work done, perhaps going wide body and that sort of thing. And after to and fro looking at images and ideas all over the internet, we settled with going with Liberty Walk. We will not be doing a conventional Liberty Walk conversion to this car because, as Chris said, he loves the styling, but where the Liberty Walk M3 kit's been out for a very long time, there's just too many cars the same throughout the world. So he wanted his to be unique and different. So we've come up with some ideas together as to how we can change it and modify it and make it look that bit more special. And then we'll be moving on to painting the car in a really special colour that he's chosen from the Hypershift Pearl range that we offer. Again, that will finish the car off really nicely, and the colour he's chosen will pop. It's a beautiful colour he's chosen, and I can't wait to see it finished. Moving on, we'll be fitting airlift suspension. Of course, it's as a standard with builds like this, and we are also designing a three-piece forged wheel set for the car. So can't wait to get them on. We are finishing not only the wheels but many other accents around the car in rose gold chrome. We'll have Vorsteiner bonnet on the car to complement the rest of the bodywork that we're going to be doing, and a full custom exhaust system that will be changed from the original exhaust system that we've done the first time around, where we're going to turn it into a quad carbon tipped exhaust system coming out the centre of the rear bumper. And we're going to finish it off with our own custom carbon undersill kit. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as we've enjoyed building it. Stay tuned, and I promise that you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Right, so it's full steam ahead on the M3. I've got Paul stripping the car down, getting it ready for me. Front door cards, rear door cards, all the interior, so we can fit these brand new rainbow front and rear speakers in. We've got components going in with a 4-channel amplifier, another amp to run the subwoofer as well, so we can get a bit more bass. 2 10-inch subwoofers going in the car. That will be my job for the day. And Dave's upstairs prepping the Liberty Walk wide arch kit as we speak. So full steam ahead of the car. Get this lot in the car today, and we'll move on to the body kit from there. That's the last of the speakers now been upgraded. That's what's come out the front door cards. We've got the new ones going in, rainbow. Designed specifically to fit as a direct replacement speaker. Nothing too heavy or over the top, it's just nice and crisp quality sound that the customer's going for. These will be all amped up using rainbow Green 4 amplifier, front and back. The fronts are components. So the tweeters are in their original factory locations, which are just behind the wing mirrors. That's that done. The crossovers are all done, mounted inside the doors. So literally all we've got left to do is get the wiring finished off, get the amplifier in. I'll show you what we've done in the boot. So we've got 2 10-inch Phoenix Gold subwoofers that are in the boot. And in order to get the bass through the car, we've cut the ski hatch. Well, it's not really a ski hatch, it's actually a solid, sort of like a luggage compartment behind the armrest. So we've cut that completely out. And I guess it is like a ski hatch for those that want to cut it out to have their skis go through or whatever. But that is a massive restriction for the sound, and one of the complaints that the customer had was that he can't, hear the bass come through the car. So we've cut that through, completely removed it, so that will be allowing a lot more sound to travel into the car. That coupled with obviously the upgraded speakers around the car, front and rear, it will give him the crisp clarity sound that he's after. So yeah, once that's out of the way, we can then move on to starting the bodywork. Okay, so the bodywork is pretty much complete. Just got to go around, finalise the arches, put it to primer, get it to paint. But before we do that, we've got to get this little lot fitted, which is the airlift suspension. Completely controlled via an app on the mobile phone. So we've got one leg already fitted on the car. It's a plug and play fit. Everything bolts up really nice, so it should be straightforward. Looking forward to that completed. And then we can move on to completing the bodywork, getting into paint. Second line now in. Get that trimmed off. Get that connected. Now the only real challenge we're going to have with this car is the limitation we've got for space in the boot. There's not a lot of room at all. It's got a custom subwoofer enclosure as well. A couple of amps in there which restricts the boot space as well. On top of that, we've got that coming down to allow the roof to come down. So with all that in mind, we'll need to try and get this tank in. Now the only way I can really see this working is putting it in that way. So the other option is to go smaller tank, which is half the size, but they don't perform anywhere as good as these. So we have to get this in, and I think we'll get it. The sub that we're going to put in will be a 3S subwoofer, so it won't have a boot enclosure. It's simply going to be mounted onto an MDF panel that we're going to cut to size, fit at the back of the boot, and the subwoofer will be firing in through the ski hatch. So it's all going to be sealed and enclosed, but the sub itself is going to use the actual boot enclosure as its box. But if you look through there, you can see it's got a real nice size ski hatch which we cut open earlier. They don't like that from factory. That there usually is sealed off with a flap, but we've cut the whole thing open, allowing the use of the space to get the 12-inch subwoofer firing straight into the car using the freezer enclosure. So yeah, that said, it will just mean that there'll be a sub in the middle and a magnet right in the centre of the boot, allowing the tank to sort of fit on this side next to the amplifier. So there should hopefully, fingers crossed, be enough space to make it all work once it's done. I mean, the exhaust manifold is tucked underneath. The floor will have to be raised by about an inch. But once we get that side of it done, the tank will then be mounted on top of the false floor, and we're looking to put the compressor on the right side of the subwoofer, so hopefully it should all work. Fingers crossed. There's been a big change of plan, and we are going to completely redesign the back end of the car. Wasn't in the original plan, but I've had a chat with Chris. Chris really wants this car to be a one-off and the only wide-body Liberty Walk M3 in the world that's completely custom to him, unique to him. So what we're going to do, take this exhaust completely out, redesign a whole new rear section for the exhaust system. The back bumper will be taken off. We're going to mould the entire bumper, get a whole new one made. So that will enable us to modify it quite extensively with a new design. We will be cutting this section out of the bumper, hence why we're taking the exhaust off. So we're going to cut that section of the bumper off, and we're going to fit a very big centre diffuser which we've already made for the GTR. We're going to modify it to make it fit this car with the F1 light in it as well. The exhaust pipes will then be relocated to the centre section of the bumper, which is right there. At the moment it's all just an idea, but hopefully it should all work. No, right, Dave?
That'll work.
Dave, don't mess around. If Dave said it's going to work, it's going to work. It's the famous words of Dave, leave it to me. But yeah, we're taking it all off simply to obviously assess the area above the exhaust system and behind the bumper to see how much space we've got, because I really like the idea of pulling the exhaust pipes out the back bumper here to be a complete world exclusive one-off Liberty Walk / edition Kream production. We're going to develop a carbon running board kit for it as well. Again, something that's very exclusive to us. We've done it on many cars already, so we're going to develop the same for this. Straightforward, simple carbon running board with a nice fin on it. Now everything you see here will have to be redone. This bumper will basically go in the bin now after putting all that work into it. All because Chris wants to be unique, and I agree. I think the car should be unique. The plan is we're going to remove this bumper and we're going to fit an M4 bumper. Now, in order for us to be able to do that, we're going to purchase an M4 bumper. We're going to forge an M4 with an M3, so we get one bumper out of the two, make it work, make it fit. And then we're going to reattach the Liberty Walk front bumper extensions onto that, which of course ain't going to fit because it's a different bumper altogether, and then we'll have to modify that as well. And at the same time, drop in a nice little vent here and just make it completely bespoke and unique to Chris. I'm actually really excited about this project now. It won't be a simple Liberty Walk M3 just like every other M3 out there that's had the kit done. Obviously there's many of them that have got slight variations, but we are going to town with making this car different. So yeah, really excited for that. As you can see, Shabs is really excited. There you have it. Okay, so the M4 front bumper has been modified to custom fit the BMW M3. And as you can see, Dave is now working on the bumper extensions for the Liberty Walk wide arch kit. Cut it and modified it all along there to fit against the bumper, so it flows nicely, because before it wasn't fitting at all. And if you look down the side, you can see now it's flowing along with the wheel arch as well. So once Dave's finished doing that, we'll then move on to the front splitter, create a front splitter, finish that off, and then we'll move on to body and paint. Okay. So Dave's done a blinding job with the front bumper. As you can see, the M4 bumper is now on the M3. That physically isn't possible with the M3 where the M3 bodies are wide body. So that's been physically altered to fit. Job done. You can see the Liberty Walk fender is on the car as well. But we've had to modify and hack and chop about the front bumper extension to get it to fit the bumper, which is pretty much almost there. We're going to give it a slight shape to it with like triangular sections there, just to give it a little bit more authenticity with the whole LB design. But we're going to add our own little touch by docking a vent similar to that. So something similar to that will be dropped in on the side of the bumper, and to make it that a little bit more special, we're going to take that, basically give it a big mouth, adding this lip at the top so it looks original, and that will be the front bumper complete. Once that's done, we're going to hack about the front LB front splitter to get that to fit as well, because at the moment it doesn't fit at all, because it's made for the M3, but we're getting there. So as you can see, Dave has now cut the centre mouth open. We can remove that piece there. So that's where we are now. We're going to add this back, like so. giving us the shape, the contour that was already there. With a little ridge, flow all the way around. And that will give us our bigger centre mount section. Move on to the side, you can see Dave's cut the side vent open as well that we drew earlier. So that's in there now as well. That's really good. And if you look around the back here, Dave's glassed the whole thing in. So we've got the bumper extension with the vent. And it's all glassed in to the inside of the bumper as well, just so you can see how it's done properly with all the extra added strength. Going to put a little bit in here and finish that off nicely.
The mud shield will come round?
Yeah. So the lip remains there, so the inside wheel arch liner will go around and fit against all them lugs professionally and properly.
What we're doing, we're just going around finalising everything on the bumper before it goes away for moulding. Just check everything is symmetrical and it's perfectly nice and smooth. There you go. Right, in the final stages of prepping the bumper to make sure all the gaps are nice before it goes away for moulding. Cure issues like that where it's tight on the headlamp, so when it comes back we have no problems in fitting it. There we have it.
Alright, so all the archwork's now been completed. They've all been smooth and filled in nicely against the wings. Bubble's been going around and correcting all the shapes of the arches, making sure they're nice and smooth and in form. But there's been another development. Chris, in the quest of being different, as you can see with everything else that we've done, he doesn't want to have the bolts exposed like everyone else. He wants it to be filled in to have a smooth look. I'm sure it's been done already, but we want to incorporate that same idea with this, because he wants to go with a more smooth OEM sort of look. Well, not OEM. He wants to go with more of a smooth, flushed off look, rather than having nuts and bolts on display. So that's what's going to be going on. As you can see, we've got bubble in the back, prepping them as we speak. So you're basically cleaning up all the holes, feathering them out, and preparing them to take some fiberglass in there, so they look like that basically. So once that's filled with fiberglass, that will then be sanded, then we can get the whole thing into primer and prepped and ready for paint. The bumper has been completely finished and it's come out absolutely immaculate, really happy with it. Just the entire look of the whole M4, front with the bumper extensions and the extra added vent that we've thrown in there. It just looks and works really, really good. Really happy with that. That's ready to go off to the factory to be moulded, so it comes back in one piece. It weighs a ton at the moment, obviously because of all the work that we've done to it. So that won't go in the car, and that won't actually never go in the car. It'll be used to probably make a desk or something out of. We've got Paul over here just finishing off the carbon front splitter. That's it for the bottom of that. Again, this will be finished and moulded in the factory to make a new one. So this is again too heavy to put in the car. So you're just finalising the shape.
Just finalising the shape of the front splitter, and this can be done at the factory, be moulded in carbon.
So that'll come back as one. Beautifully finished in rose gold, as you can see. This is the third set now that we've done, so very popular colour. And these are the front dishes. So we're going to just apply Crystal Serum Light and Exo Hybrid coating, one after the other, just to protect the rose gold, the paintwork, and again the dish. These have been powder coat lacquered as well, so it will prevent it from oxidising and corroding. And the Crystal Serum on top will just basically provide it with a bit more protection and lock and seal the paintwork in and stop it from getting weathered. So that's what we're doing now. Once that's done, we'll assemble it, get the tyres on, get it on the car, and get the car down. And for the first time, we'll see what the car looks like on the wheels. So very excited to see that. Yeah. Okay, so here she finally is, the brand new Edition Kream M3/M4/Liberty Walk. Long name. But that is exactly what it is. It's an M3 bumper that we forged the M4 bumper onto. I made that work. Got the Liberty Walk side extensions that we've modified and drop preventing. And again, we had to modify it to fit the bumper itself, which works really well. And that's come along perfectly. The Liberty Walk front lip, which was originally for the M3. That took a great deal of work to get that to fit nicely. I'll show you why. You remove the front bumper. You can see the base of the actual splitter itself here. That had to be completely made from scratch by moulding the bottom part of that bumper and forging it onto the Liberty Walk front lip, and obviously blending it and smoothing it all in to make it all one. Now that it's complete, this is both of them are going to go to our factory and get moulded, so we can get this back in one piece fiberglass, because it's actually quite heavy now with all the work that's been done to it, and we can get that back in carbon. If you come by the back, you can have a look quickly what I'm talking about. You can see that the base has been perfectly moulded to the bottom of the bumper. You can see that because they perfectly fit. So it'll be mounted properly, and that's how you do the job properly. Okay, so we're now in the final stages of this car before she goes into paint. It's been a mammoth task getting this car ready, but we're almost there. Bubbler's just literally putting the last bit of paper. As you can see, it's pretty much all done. The whole undercarriage of the car is being masked as well, just to stop any dirt from flying out and coming out and sitting on the paintwork. Again, just like other paint job, this is another extensive paint job because it's going in a Hypershift Pearl, just another flip. With added shimmer as well. But I'm really happy the car's come out spot on. Paul has made all the tweaks required on the bumpers, front and back, to make sure they're perfectly aligned and gapped. So when the car's painted, the bumpers can come in along with the bonnet and anything else that needs painting. And today we're going to lay the base black. Tomorrow again we're going to finish that part of it. Let that cure, and then we'll go into a Hypershift Pearl, and hopefully in the next couple of days we'll have the whole car in full colour and final. So yeah, quite excited. You excited, Pablo?
Yes.
You happy?
Yes, I'm.
You doing a good job?
Yes, good job.
Okay, and here we have the Liberty Walk rear spoiler. This is in carbon. This has been forged and moulded into the M3 boot lead, but what we've done is something different again with this as well. This doesn't come like that in standard Liberty Walk format. They have a round sort of half moon cutout for where the badge goes. So in essence, their spoiler has been designed to cover the brake light and sit over the badge that sits there. But we've gone one stage further because Chris wanted to have his brake light visible, especially for EU regulations as well, where he goes abroad a lot. So we have modified it, we've left the brake light in, and it works really well. It looks really good, really happy with that. So Dave's finished with that, and that's going to now move on to Paul, who's going to finalise and finish all the filler work required to make this perfect, basically. So yep, really happy with that. And if you come over there, so if you remember, here's the original front bumper that was completely fabricated and designed from scratch, using the M4 front on the M3.
opening the centre mouthpiece up, putting the Liberty Walk side extensions in, and dropping the side vents at the same time. This then went to our factory and it was moulded in one piece, and here is the final product. And again, Paul's just gone around and he's fitted it on the car, just double checked everything, and he's going around just making the final tweaks to make sure everything's perfect, all the gaps are nice. And very shortly this is going to go into primer to get ready to put in the car and be painted. And that, guys, is how you achieve an immaculate gun finish. Have a look at that. Beautifully executed. Our painter Bubba has done a beautiful job painting this. Another Happy Pearl. This is the fourth one now. And as you can see, we're getting the hang of it. It's come out really nice. Lacquer's been laid on perfectly as well. So yeah, I'm going to leave that for a few days to cure. And go hard. Obviously there's a lot of material on this car as well, so you're going to need to make sure that goes off nice and hard. And then get all the other bits and pieces, the bumpers done first, and then we'll come back to it to give it a good flat and polish, and finish it off. Really happy.
So today my job is to prep the mould for the M3 carbon front lip and make sure that it's immaculate, so when it goes to the factory we get a brilliant first carbon front lip.
So I'm just going around fine lining this barrel. I've already done this one here, as you can see. See that? And it's just basically in preparation of bonding the two front and back barrels together. The outer lip and the rear barrel, should I say. And all I'm doing is fine lining it, so when I put the Tiger Seal bonding agent in between the two surfaces, I'll spread it with my finger. And this just ensures that the finish is nice and neat. And then go over it again with a bit of tape. It's basically stopping it from smothering all over the wheel. Okay. So if you imagine, that's going to go down like that. That will go there like that. Obviously the centre goes in there. We're going to put plenty of glue all the way around sealing that. And obviously once you bolt it down it's going to smother out, so use your finger to wipe it all along. Give me a nice clean finish.
Hardcore. I flip the hardcore shit.
we've just basically had our friends at NEM, as you can see, they've got the little tag in there. These guys are the ones when it comes to customizing headlights and doing all fancy LED DRL conversions to them. So what they've done here is, as you can see, they've put these M4 style LED rings in, along with blacking out the inside and the carbon eyebrows. And Paul's just gone and flat and polish it just to give that surface a nice sort of new glass finish, so it looks new. We've still got to test them actually. Chris, you want to come over here, mate? Get the lights on.
Bossy, Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like I'm bossy. Bang, 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 hey.
Hey yo, Idris, tell them what they're gonna take the piss. When Steffi step out, do that turn up in a diss. Body comfortable, I'm physically fit. I'm brown and sweet, just like the chocolate. Yo, Wiley, them ones sound like me. Other than a pussy pretty with the okra body. Shut down in the city with me bad girl pussy. Every man want piece of me. The back of them a pop and them a bun weed. Man want wine behind me, me have to move kind dusty. I'm looking for a brother who got hella pounds. 079 baby, I'm a hammer, did you shop?
Bossy, Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy.
Hey guys, so it is now Thursday. We are all hands on deck. We've got all the men on the job now, trying to get this car done. But we're not really pressed for time as such, because there's not a great deal left to do. As you can see, the bumpers have been fitted, the rear diffuser, exhaust system, everything's been tried, tested and checked. Everything's great. Had a couple of little problems, whereas the compressor for the airlift had to be moved from the left side of the boot to the middle, because the roof was touching on the way down. Not a huge problem, just had to rectify that. A little bit of arch trimming, arch work that needs to be done, but other than that, the whole car has actually been built. The lights are on, bumpers are on, grills, trims, bits and pieces are being finished today. We've got Sakir finishing the new carbon rear spats that have been created. Now this has been done literally in the last couple of days actually. Dave's created them, done a brilliant job of making these fit the bottom of the rear bumper. It was something that I noticed when the car was built, and I felt that it was something was missing. And it's, to be honest, it's something that we normally do on most of our builds anyway. But again, it's like one of them things where, you know, you have a vision in your mind, you put the car together, you build it, you design it, you do all the legwork. Once the car is built and it comes together finally, that's when you really realise what's missing, what the car needs, where you can improve, and that sort of thing. So that's what we've done. Created these a couple of days, and it fits perfectly underneath the rear spat. And that is the original Liberty Walk rear spat, which we have dropped a vent in. Otherwise, they're normally flat. But that coupled with this just really finishes it off nicely, especially with the carbon rear diffuser, the carbon exhaust system and the carbon running boards. It all works and flows really well together. I'm really happy with that. Dave's done a wicked job with that. But yeah, so the next couple of days are crucial for this job now, because this is where it counts. The live reveal is only a couple of days away, Sunday, which leaves us today, tomorrow and Saturday to get the car done, which is good. I'm hopeful the car will be done. We've got a man like Sakib getting the carbon spats painted today, so that will be the last of all the paintwork for the car. And we've got Paul with his arse out as always over there. Doing the last bits and pieces, finishing it off. How are you feeling today, Paul? Feeling good? Feeling nervous? Yeah. So yeah, Chris will be fitting up the interior, door cards, the mirrors, trims and bits and pieces with Paul. Them two are working together all day long. We have our man Bablu, who will be going around flat and polishing the entire car once more. Moving forward, yeah, so Bablu will be coming in to give the whole car flat and polish. You might have noticed that he's not been around for a little while, because his other half will be giving birth very soon, so he's spending some time at home with his family, and will be joining us back on the job in a couple of months' time, hopefully. But he will be coming back, because this is originally his paintwork, and he'll be going around giving the car once over, a good flat and polish, bringing it up to that showroom glass finish. As you know, the car was painted some time ago now, so it's had plenty of time for the solvents to evaporate and come out of the paintwork, and that obviously gives it a little bit of a drop back on the shine. So this time, when we buff and polish the car up, should be giving us an amazing gleaming showroom finish, which is what we want. Wheels are on. Wheels and tyres are now being fitted for the car. All the airlift has been checked. We've dropped the car, we've set it up where we want it. Let me show you, it looks amazing. I'm so happy with that. A little bit of archwork trimming is required, nothing too drastic. But yeah, so really happy, and hopefully the car will be finished perfectly on time.
So free, bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like I'm bossy.
Hey yo, Sean.
Aye. So when me spitty body with it, maybe gala get with it. Spitty body with it, maybe gala get. When me tappy body with it, maybe gala get with it. Wind up your body and spin it. Girl, when you bubble, that's a trouble. Why you give me this something now? Turn it around and bring it. You're pressing it back on and on. If you push that button, my girl down, but I can't tame it. Once you broke out and fling it. Once your body shaking up to the limit. Once you wild out to wild it to S to the base, step London and mid on edges. Is it?
Bossy, bossy.
I came to rap it up, do my thing. Sabi put me on the gram and a remix thing. Hold tight Wiley with the Pacino flow. Godfather part 2, call me De Niro. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. Disrespect man, get a slap on the chin. Man a king in a top bowl, Larry. Man a big DJ, Ox, Megan and Harry. Boss, yeah, man a bossy. I make your girl melt like a toasty. I've been this way someday, and I write for myself, no ghosting.
Needs a boy got money in a bank on. Ready for roll and blaze up this tank on. Got the girls from Jamwan to Hong Kong. The girl them champion in it.
Bossy, bossy. Godfather, man a OG. Man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like I'm bossy. I fly around the world cause I'm bossy. Bossy, bossy. Godfather.
So what you want, I got what you need.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.